good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. This is Ian Davies in beautiful Australia, and welcome to another wonderful webinar. Now, Linda Hoggard, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you, Ian, and welcome to everyone who's joining us today.
And, you know, some people, when I tell them about the product, then they say, how much? Oh, no, that costs too much. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's a really big subject, and I know we were discussing this morning about talking about that more extensively. I've done some extremely good sales training in trying to understand the process that happens between informing someone and actually that person then ordering the product, because it's something that I'm naturally really good at. And I've been frustrated over the years, perhaps not seeing other people being able to, I guess, go all the way through that process. So actually making a study of what happens in that process. And then I think it's really important for people to, if they're not getting their results, to look what's happening in their own process. So I am going to be going back to some of my own notes and some training that John Kennedy and I did in New Zealand last year, that we were on track to do the training in Los Angeles and the Gold Coast as well, and get that onto one of these webinars, so that as an individual, if you've really made the decision and committed to getting these products and this business out to the world and it's not coming together, that you've got a tool to start looking at where that's hiccuping for you. Because I know quite often, you know, people say to me, I've talked to 10 people and nothing's happened. And I often think, man, if I talk to those 10 people, they'd all be on the product. So what's the difference? What's going on in that person's perhaps belief system, their technique for engaging, following up, etc. What are they not doing that I naturally do? And I know I naturally connect with people really well, and I help them understand the value of this product for them in their life. And then, like Mark Anderson was saying earlier, I then ask people, so is this something that you feel like you'd like to have in your life? And often when I do the breakdown with people around their communication, if we just add in that one line, that often starts really changing things. Because if there's objections going on in their mind, it gets out of their mind into the conversation. And once at least the objections are out, you know, you can start handling them, not just going, oh, what went on there? And if not, then you know that the person is ready to go through and perhaps place an order with you, or starts talking about their ideas around business, and then you know where they're at. So I think it's common for people to maybe come up and talk about the cost of the product, because somewhere in your communication with them, their understanding of the value of the product and their life hasn't kind of become clear. So without going into sort of how to address all of that, because it's like a whole piece of video content on its own, I think it's in the realms of all of that. Yeah. Exactly.
Look, the value of what we have is off the chart. I mean, to stay young longer and improve your quality of life and keep it that way for a long time is really valuable. And in the States, when I used to go to work, I'd stop in Dunkin' Donuts for a coffee and a muffin.
Before you met me.
You know, I could change my life, and it's nothing. And people look at it that way. It really costs absolutely nothing here, you know, when you put it together every day. And it's a total bargain, and the value is just off the chart. And when people get what the product is, it is a bargain. You know?
Oh, I totally agree. You know, some people say to me, oh, God, what's up with the cost of it? And I go, oh, yeah, I know, it's so cheap, eh? Because, you know, for anyone who hasn't kind of heard my story, you know, I had significant repetitive strain injuries in my hands from being a structural therapist, and I was having to look at, you know, stopping work along that line. So therefore, suddenly the product turned my life around, got rid of all the discomfort, and that to me is priceless. Plus, it also then becomes insurance, let alone the fact that I was still looking at needing a joint replacement in my foot from surgery I'd had when I was 12, and that's all behind me. My heart rate recovery improved dramatically without changing my exercise sort of regime. I've been able to manage my aging process really quite beautifully for the last 14 years. And when people ask me how much I take, they're sort of like, wow, is there something wrong with you? And I go, no, man, the more you understand stem cells and the role in their body and live with this product and all of its wonderful benefits, you're just going to love knowing that you can invest in that on a daily basis. And this body that wasn't particularly strong and vital when I discovered the initial product in my early 30s, you know, I've been able to get it strong and vital and now bring it into my late 40s. And then I want to keep investing in it and take this body turning over at a more optimized rate into my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on. And I'm delighted to know about that. And I would pose to you that there are many, many people in the world who would desperately like to know what we know in order to help them out of the current potential issues their body's having around degeneration, and then order to be able to have something that I think of like as the ultimate multivitamin mineral, because it's so nutritious, but then also has these abilities to mobilize resources that help it manage our aging process. Like it's fantastic.
It is, it's off the charts. Now,